All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD1112 Application Programming with Java class, I'm doing a series of video presentations. I've gone through the entire first book of the class, the Java Quick Syntax Reference, or whatever it's called, all 23 pages. Now I'm writing some programs, starting with simple payroll programs. And in the last one, I'd set everything up and I'd written my first 3 routines. So it's time to come in and write my next routine, which is InputMph. Now notice, unlike these that return strings, this will be different. This one will return an integer. So it'll be a public static int InputMph, and this is wrong. I want that to be an E there. And if I did it wrong up here, I want to fix it right away. Again, I'm trying to be consistent here. There we go. Mph is a byte, so I don't want to return an int. I want to return a byte. Hopefully that got rid of my error that was up here. And you can see that it did. Okay. So far I've gone through and I put in my first name, I put in my middle initial, and I put in my last name. All right, this will look a little bit different because, again, I'm dealing with a different kind of data. String input str, you've seen that before, equals j option pane dot show input dialog input employee age. Kind of nice to let them know it's what the range is too. All right, you don't have to do that, but again, just kind of nice to do that. I could have fixed this instead of hard coding those values. I could have used a plus sign and put in the constants. All right, just to show you. So I could have said input employee age plus, then come in here and said, let's put a parenthesis here, and we'll say min age plus hyphen plus max age. All right, that would have been a cleaner way of doing it. That way, if we change our restrictions for age, maybe we want to make it 21 instead of 18, we only have to change it up above in our constants. So we've got that. Byte A for age equals byte dot parse byte. Now let's use the word age in here. That's fine. Byte dot parse byte of input string. All right. And while the age is less than our min age, or our age is greater than our max age. So we're doing a range check here. Put a comment there that says range check. How's that? So while that's the case, and I need another paren there. Let's see, I think that fixed everything good. What do we want to do? Well, we want to do this all over again. All right, and we don't need to re-declare age. So once we get out of there, we can just return age. Now let's break this down. This should say enter employee age, then in parentheses, we need our ending paren. It should say enter employee age, parenthesis, 18, hyphen, 125, parenthesis. Then it's allowing us, it's checking that to make sure what we put in, so we could call this right here actually a validity check. All right, then we do our range check. So if we get down to here, so if we come in here and we leave it blank, or we put in hello, or we put in a gazillion, we're going to get an error right there. All right, we get down to here, so let's say we put in a gazillion. All right, it's going to break right there. But let's say we put in 200, which is a valid byte value for a signed byte, but it's greater than our maximum age. So it should give us the error message. Why don't we let them know that they made an error? Error, and we'll tell them to do it again. Bring this down so it evens out a little bit with the other one. Not perfect, but it's fine. Return age. Now, let's look at this. So let's do a file, save all, and let's run this again. And now we're going to have the age in there as well. So I've already tested first name, middle initial, last name, so I'm not going to test those again. So Jeff P. Scott, now it's the age. So I'm going to put in something that's less than 18, 14. Error, input employee age, 18 to 125. Got to go back and add that paren in there too. I can see I missed that. So I'm going to put in something too big, 126. Still get the error. That's good. 33. All right. All right. So just like before, I've got to add this to the end. Glad I saw that error now. All right, so that's now I've got the age covered. All right. So the next thing I have to do is I have to cover the union status, which is not really all that different from the age that we just did. All right, so I'm going to grab that age thing that we just did right here. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard and paste it in. Now this is going to be InputMph is union. All right, and it's going to have to return a Boolean. So don't worry, I'm going to get errors down here. Not a problem. But let's see if we fix this error that was up here when we called it. We did. Imp is union. So let's go back and fix this one. All right. Union status. This one I'm not going to be so particular. So just telling them put in the union status. And now we'll say Boolean is union equals Boolean dot parse Boolean input string. All right, range check. Well, the range check basically has got to be true or false. So if it's not true and it's not false, all right, we know we screwed up. Again, I'm going to have to fix this, so give me a second. All right, so we're telling them to enter a union status. And what we should probably say here to make it easier is true or false. Okay? Then we do a Boolean check. If it's not true and it's not false, meaning you put something else in, we just tell them to do it again. Again, we can tell them error. And we ask them to do it again. When they fall out because they put in true or false, boom, we're done. I'm not going to run that right now. It should look very similar to the way it's looked before. Let's do the employee number next. All right. And that employee number is a string, so we can do it very similarly to the way we did the first name. So I'm just going to grab the first name and copy that. And again, it is InputMph number. You can see how big this is getting. But the point is, now it is becoming modularized. And since it's becoming modularized, it's written better than it was before, for lack of better verbiage. Okay? All right, we're making progress, I guess. Let's call this EN for an employee number. Now, there are ways we can come in and check to see if we've just put in numbers. We can do checks very similar to, with the regular expression types of checks we've done before. All right. Now, let's see. String EN equals that. We don't even really need this because it's just, well, we can check it for being nothing. All right. And let's just say that the, let's see, we need to say EN, enter input employee number. All right. And let's try, just to show you this, math.abs. So if they put a minus in there, that'll remove it. All right. But the problem is, to do that, we've got to make that temporarily an int. All right. I don't even want to do that. I'm just going to leave it return end. All right. I've got a piece of paper where I've written the program that I'm working from, but I have made changes, as I oftentimes do. Let's check, and let's come in here and do a Java non-numeric check. See what they give us here. Non-numeric characters and string. It's probably going to be a regular expression, but I don't even know. Let's see. This isn't bad. I'll leave that. All right. While it equals that, or en dot, if it does not match that regular expression, not a statement, en.trim. So we'll say here Boolean match equals, we'll just see, let's say false. Let's assume that it's not fossil. False. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of this. All right, so after we trim it, we're going to say match equals this. en.matches, regular expression. We want it to be a regular expression, and we want it to begin with a number, have one or more numbers, and end. No, we do want that. There we go. So while this or not match. Oh, this is kind of neat. I've never even thought of doing this before, so. Not. Or, actually, just not match should work. So if either it's empty or it's non-numeric. This is kind of cool. I had never even thought of doing this, but until literally right now. But let's run it and see what it looks like. I'm going to make one change, and I'll change it back later. But right now I'm running this 3 times because my total emps in here is set to 3. I'm just going to set it right now to 1, just so I only have to run this once. All right. All right. Jeff P. Scott 63 true. Now for employee number, I'm going to leave it blank. Okay, I'm going to put something non-numeric in there. Great. I'll put a negative sign in there. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it didn't like that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hot doggy. Okay, that's great. So we're up to here. We've got to do our hours worked and our hourly rate. Then we have to do our gross pay. And when I display all, I'm also going to add into here tote gross pay. You'll see what that is in just a bit. Now, these get lengthy fast, as you can see. I've only done a couple. So I'm going to attempt to come back and handle all 4 of these. All right. So to try to make that a little bit easier, I'm going to grab all of this. And I'm going to get errors, not errors, well, I will possibly in just a minute, but I'm going to paste all that in. All right, what am I doing here? I'm going to say here, public static double input hours worked, and for now, I'm just going to return 0.0. All right. So I'm putting like a stub or a dummy little function in there. Public static double input our hourly rate. Again, return 0.0. All right. And then finally we'll have public void. No, it's not a void, it's another double. Double. Calculate. Let's just let the system put this in for us. Calculate gross pay. And I'll just return 0.0. I have to let the system know the type of variables these are. So that's a double, and that's a double. Finally, I'll have my public static, and this should be static. This will be a void. All right, and I'll have my display all here. Again, the reason I'm getting the errors is I have to put the type down. So string, 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 int boolean string double 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 and double. All right. So now I've got my framework done, and I should actually be able to uncomment all of the rest of these. Okay? All right, so when I come back, last thing, sorry, but I like to do this as just to use some little kind of delimiters in there. So I'm going to quickly do this. Every time I start something new, on that first line, I'm going to add my delimiters here. You can put one here. I don't need one there really, but I'm doing it anyway. Makes my program bigger. Even though these are all comments, I must be up near 200 lines already. And I still have a few functions to finish up with, but I don't care. To me, this is going to make it easier for me to read this. I do not have this in my own copy. And that's everything. All right. So I'll be back quickly, hopefully, to finish this up.